there are 7.8 billion of us, all experiencing the world in a different way. And the problem with this is how people are experiencing the world for half of people is hell, and how the other half of people are experiencing it is heaven. So which one is it really? You see, how we experience the world or reality when we're depressed or anxious or stressed is not going to be at all like somebody experiences the world when they are in a state of bliss, in a state of happiness and joy, where they feel purpose and meaning in their lives. So we've really got to understand, if we want to help the half of people who feel that they're in hell, that they're actually experiencing hell, to literally wake up from what can only be seen as a nightmare and start living and experiencing life as a dream, because life is a dream. And when we were young, we were taught in a book that we should row, row, row our boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. And so it is a dream, and we can really compare our consciousness to a dream. And if you're in a nightmare, you perhaps need to start rowing your boat gently down the stream. And if you're in a nightmare, it's probably tethered to the harbor and you feel like you cannot move. And these are the kinds of people that we deal with at our center every day. So people come in from all over the world, experiencing different issues, but at the end of the day, their similarities are quite frightening. We know now that 40% plus of Europe are on some kind of medication to try and get them out of their nightmares. And I can tell you now, after 23 years of trying to help people from all over the world, that it is not helping. It is not enough, and it is not happening, especially not at a pace or at a level that people need to experience healing and transformation. So what needs to happen is people come into a center, or they go see a psychologist or a counselor or a life coach, and they want to create a new experience for themselves. They want to experience consciously the world in a different manner. So the very first thing we need to understand is that if you're looking in the wrong place, you're not going to find the right answer that you need. If you're looking in the wrong place for your healing, you're not going to find an answer. And this is what people have experienced. They've gone all over the world and they've tried tarot cards and crystals and medications and thousands of hours of therapy, and they get nowhere. So how can it be that one person experiences hell on earth and another heaven? Why is it that one person can sit in the present moment and be content with themselves, while another is suffering with a racing mind, anxious, stressed, and freaking out? Everybody has experienced different situations and events in life. They've experienced different traumas. Yes, they've experienced different partners, different career opportunities. They've grown up in different cultures. You can change very little about these things. We're enculturated, and in a way we're locked into a conscious perspective of the world, which is the prison of consciousness, rather than going into a therapeutic situation time and time again, trying to make sense of what people have done, what places have done, what things have done, what situations and conversations have done that have led you to experience the world as a nightmare or as hell. Transformation is not about correcting your old story and going through that old story time and time again and trying to make sense of the people, places, things, conversations and situations that you've had in your life. What you rather need to do if you want to transform and heal is to experience life in a completely new way. how we experience the world is all happening on the inside. In fact, you've never experienced anything on the outside. You've never experienced anything on the outside. Everything, my voice, what you're seeing, all is being experienced inside. And that's the thing that we need to change. That's all that spirituality is. It's going inside. It's taking that boat that we should be rowing down the stream when things are going well, flowing down, and making it flow, untying it from the harbor and making it flow downstream. Our experiences are different, 7.8 billion different experiences. So if you want new experiences, you need first to stop. Stop and perceive the world as how it really is. Now, of course, if there's 7.8 billion views on what the world is really like, some positive, some negative, some good, some bad, what we need to do then is actually rely on objective reality. See, the world is one way. 7.8 billion views of a world, a universe that is happening one way. And that one way we call the truth, or we call it reality. So that is happening. Now, to change how you experience the world, one of the things you can do is start to get silent. And what you can do right now is close your eyes. Close your eyes and you're already inside. Try and see the ocean. Try and see a picture of the ocean in your mind. Now, that picture of the ocean is not really there. It is something that you are experiencing for yourself. You can keep your eyes closed and also see a picture of yourself. It's not really there. It's not really in your head. Gray matter, blood, tissue, muscles. Look at a picture of yourself. And how do you see yourself? Are you looking at yourself in the picture that you see? Or are you looking out through the stained glass windows of your soul, which are your eyes? Are you looking away from yourself or towards yourself? You see, that is something that everyone experiences differently. And it is within your control. It is within your power to change that experience. When you stop, when you get silent and go within, this is the very first way we can change the way we experience life. If you're dealing with a divorce, a negative situation, tough times at work, you can stop how you are experiencing those things. Stop, close your eyes, go inside just for a moment. And you can, the person who created those pictures just now, can go inside and create new pictures, new experiences of the world. You see, if someone's accusing you of things that you didn't do, to one person, this is hell. To one person, they will fight and they will try and challenge and they will try and correct and find justice. Whereas the other person who has been wronged, who has been called names that are not true, who's been lied about, who's had what they've done twisted and warped, who's being judged incorrectly, can go inside, go within, and be content. They can be content, happy, joyful and purposeful, even though those situations are happening. You see, those situations are always going to be happening in life. Life is always going to be a series of zeros and ones. It's a binary system. Problem, solution, 0, 1. Problem, solution, problem, solution. These are situations that you can do nothing about. You're going to get flat tires. You're going to be accused of things, gossiped about, lied about. Those things you can do nothing about. But go within and experience these things in a way where you can give them back. After all, forgiveness means giving these situations back to where they came from. So you sit and you experience bliss, joy, and peace despite situations happening on the outside. You see, the outside and the inside are very two different things. Subjectivity and objectivity are two very, very different things. One is in your control and the other is not. If your thinking is not working for you, you can stop thinking and you can go in, because you're not just your mind. You're not just your mind. You're much, much more than that. Look at the chakra system. Look at mind, body, and soul, for example. look at thoughts, feelings, behaviors, and emotions, and understand that you are far, far more than thought. When you go within, their feelings bubble up, and almost instantly they bubble up from nowhere, and these feelings come up, and if you sit with them long enough, they then transcend thought. 80,000 thoughts a day, all the same. Go inside, few minutes a day, and let these feelings emerge, and then start to experience the world in a different way. To do that, you can just go outside, connect with nature, go and sit with the birds. You see, when you go for a beach walk or a walk through the forest, what are you experiencing in that situation? Are you even there? Are you even consciously aware of the birds, the trees, the wind blowing through the leaves? Are you aware of all of these things? Are you experiencing it? When you go walk on the beach, are you experiencing the sand on your feet? Are you experiencing the seagulls, the birds, the waves? Or is your mind creating images of all of these situations that are not working for you? You see, that's just going to get more and more obsessive and compulsive. Why? Because that is the nature of the mind, to obsess. When we allow that obsession to just run wild, it becomes compulsive. And that means that the body has now bought into the idea of your thinking, that these situations, these very, very stressful situations, are real, and how you're experiencing them as torment and stress is real, so your body becomes compulsive. And eventually, over a short space of time, you won't be able to be managing mind, body, soul. You won't be able to manage even your thoughts, your thinking, and definitely not your feelings. Those feelings that bubble up and emerge from the depths of nowhere are really as much part of your life as your compulsions and your obsessions. So spirituality is going within and accessing what they would call in yoga the full dimension of your being. So it doesn't have to be foo-foo, it doesn't have to be new age, it doesn't have to be out there to understand that you are mind, body, and soul. You are more than your thinking. So your intellect is not going to do much for you. You need to access through contemplation, a contemplative state of mind, where you can actually experience life as it is happening, not as your mind after 20, 30, 40 years of life automatically decides it is. So going within is really dropping your story. It's being able to stop the obsessive thinking, go within and drop the story of what you think is happening out there. We know from space, from the universe, that we know about 1% of what is happening out there. So don't worry too much what's happening out there. In fact, it's happening really, really well for us. It's 14.7 billion years, and there's no problems out there. There's no problems out there. The problems are in here. The world is dying. The world is in trouble. The world is a bad place. Is it? I understand there's bad situations out there, but are you experiencing these things within you? So it's not to deny that bad situations happen, but it's to understand that although bad situations have happened to you, they've happened to all of us, and can happen, it is how you experience these situations that is under your control, and that really will mean that you'll be in heaven or you'll be in hell. So understand that in yoga, for example, that you don't need to stand on your head, and you don't need to do all these weird exercises half as much as you need to be in union with yourself. Not just the thoughts. Don't let the thoughts run your life. Don't let your story run your life. Don't let the situations run your life. Rather, you need to get a practice where you can sit down and experience life mindfully, which isn't the best word. Mind is not enough. Yoga. Experience the world in a yoga, or Catholic. Experience, Catholic means universal. Experience things in a universal way, in an objective way. And in doing so, you can really start to treat your stress, treat your suffering, and in a way that is far, far more effective than the medicines that we have. Medicines can help, but medicines are an external that you're bringing into your internal. So for a moment or two a day, rather don't bring in anything into the internal. Close your eyes, stop, sit in silence, and experience the world as a blissful, joyful place. This is not something that you have to strive to over years and years and years. No. Self-actualization is not something that you have to strive to over years and years and years, and eventually you become enlightened or a guru. No. You can experience your lunch with joy. You can experience that beach walk or that forest walk with joy, regardless of situations and events happening out there. This is the beginning of awakening. This is the beginning of consciousness expanding into a place where you are better than well.